Shalom. Call Halim La Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And sincere Shalom to the 144,000 and 1/3. Now, this is some new information. The UN, which is a part of the beast system, officially adds the small hats to blacklisted countries that put adolescents to death. So this is Satan casting out Satan in real time. You have Ireland, Belgium, I think Spain too. Ireland, Spain, Belgium, I think Finland, Poland. I can't name them all, but there's at least 4 EU countries that are not rocking with the small hats over there in the work they're putting in with those Ishmaelites, all right? And they're not even the real Philistines, because we can go into that word, all right, Palestine. It goes into what? The Philistines, which were Hamites. Let's go into some scriptures going into that a little bit. This is Isaiah 25:7. And he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, in the veil that is spread over all nations. So the names of these heathens have been changed. You don't really have people. I mean, yeah, you do have the Ethiopians still calling themselves Ethiopians, for example. And it's a lot of Ishmaelites that know that they're Ishmaelites. All right, they're not calling themselves Arabic. I'm pretty sure there's Persians that more than likely know they're Elamites, and Moab definitely knows that they're Moabites, the so-called Chinese. I believe they have they got a nuclear missile over there, man, called Moab. I mean, what else needs to be said about that, right? And of course, the upper elites of the Edomites know, so-called white man, woman, and child, that they are Edomites, and the heathen that come across this truth and get sliced up, they figure out their lineage, particularly Esau. And of course, when you have a true understanding of the scriptures, you understand that you can look like an Israelite and be a heathen, or you can look like a heathen and be an Israelite. So just because you see somebody walking down the street and he looks like Tom Brady or Joe Rogan or Robert Redfield, they could very well be Israelites. And just because you see someone that looks like Wesley Snipes or Marshawn Lynch, right? That doesn't mean they're Israelites, man. The Spirit bears witness that we are the children of the Most High, roughly paraphrasing. Esau is on his last legs. This is Matthew 12 chapter and verse 26. Verse 25, and Yahushua knew their thoughts, and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself, how shall then his kingdom stand? And we're seeing that play out right now with Esau, man. You got NATO, EU, and the UN, all the beast, a part of the beast. They are having mixed feelings about Babylon the Great, about the small hats over there in our land. Let's get this right here on what's going to happen to Babylon the Great. This is Revelation 17 chapter verse 16. And it reads, "And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire." So all these EU countries that have the nuclear capabilities are gonna rain hell upon the U.S. and we've been saying this, starting with the elders and apostles for probably decades at this point, and we're seeing it play out. You got all these guys that are higher up in the military coming out and saying how the U.S. doesn't give a damn about what happens to European countries. They're not going to come in and save them from Russia or whatever major conflict they get into, and that more than likely is true because the beast is what going to hate the whore. So these other Edomite countries are all going to essentially turn on the U.S. Besides those small hats over there, they're going to go down together. This is Deuteronomy 30:7. "And Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee." And one of those curses, man, is to be what? Divided against thyself. You seen that in the Dark Ages. Yeah, the Southern Kingdom was ruling part of Asia, but they were still divided. You had some Israelites that were into Islam, Muslims, right? And then you had some that knew they were Israelites, but then they was still bugging the hell out. And then guess what? They came over here in the Americas. It was on that BS, man. So we're starting to see that curse. Oh, I mean, it's a numerous amount of curses that are falling upon these devils, but in specific, that is playing out now with all these beast countries, these Edomite countries, not rocking with the small hats, man. So check this out with Esau on his desperate attempt to hold authority. House passes International Criminal Court sanctions, so the ICC bill, after prosecutor seeks the king of the small hats warrant. So Esau is at a desperate power struggle, and he's gonna lose. Let's go to Second Ezra. Second Ezra 6 and 9, and it reads, "For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth." So we're at the end, and this is gonna go out with a bang, man. Esau is the end of the world. This is the end. Now check this. This is 2 Ezra 7-43. "But the day of doom shall be the end of this time." So Esau is the end of the world, and the beginning of the immortality for it to come. And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So 2 Ezra 7-43 is saying the same thing we just read in 2 Ezra 6 chapter, verse 9. And that immortality is the second covenant, which is what the New Testament is going into, right? And of course, the second covenant was first made mention in the Old Testament. Yahushua came on the scene to fulfill that second covenant, which is the New Testament. Old Testament, Old Covenant, New Testament, New Covenant. I believe I got a video on that. I will make a new one, Lord's will, if it, comes to my mind again. It's a good thing to go back on those old topics. It keeps yourself sharp. Let's end this off in Job 14th chapter. Job, the 14th chapter. In verse 5. "Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass." So the Heavenly Father has it set up right now when he's going to pull the plug on Esau's reign on the earth. And Esau is going to be like a animal, a cornered animal, especially a hurt cornered animal. He's going to show his horns. He's going to go all out, and he's going to target Jake, man. Specifically, you so-called blacks of America, the tribe of Yahweh. That's the number one target on these devils hit lists. And they coming for blood, man. He gonna slaughter the 2/3 applies to Babylon the Great. And if you look at which tribes are the most fucked up in the Babylon the Great, it's you so-called blacks, man. All the tribes are fucked up, but you got these so-called blacks out here wilding out. And Esau is not gonna hold back. He's gonna come down with that great wrath, which is ultimately the judgment of the Heavenly Father. All right. Other one, Ratazada was edifying. Shalom.